It's Wellness Wednesdays with Dr. Nancy, providing helpful tips on how to live your best life now. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Nancy here. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week thus far and have plans to enjoy the remaining of the week. And thank you for stopping by to listen in on helpful tips on how to live your best life. This live stream episode with none other, Kimberly Miller. She is the CEO and founder of I Remind Herbs. And today we are going to talk about tips on how to live your best life now and what she does and how she incorporates what she does in her life that is going to impart some jewels of information with our listeners and viewers today. And remember, if you're not able to tune in to the live streams or in its entirety, you can always recap all of the Wellness Wednesdays by texting. You can text 26786 and then in the text box, put in Dr. Nancy, all one word, and then you can binge watch all of the Wellness Wednesdays with wonderful topics on how to live your best life now. So without further ado, let's just dive right on in. Kimberly, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, you know what? So we just recently met, and it doesn't take a lot, really, when you're well connected with a self-awareness and just being present. That says a whole lot about an individual because of, how the world is. It's just, we're all just fast-paced, preoccupied, and lots of distractions there. But, these are moments that we can't get back. And I honestly say that when people present into your life, for many different reasons, show up, be present, and listen. And so you impacted me in such a way that I wanted to bring you on the show because remember, it's so not just about me. It's so not just about you. It's about our gifts, and our gifts are meant to be given away and to inform individuals and empower them with the knowledge and understanding that, we were gifted to have because we're all special and unique in our wonderful way. And we have all these unique gifts. So Kimberly, I was able to purchase some products from you, and I'm using them currently. And tell us a little bit about your background, and how you got into what you're doing today.
Yeah, so it's been really quite an interesting and fun journey. So professionally, I started my career working in direct sales, and that quickly developed into working with more client services, so retention and marketing and things like that. And I just quickly realized that the days that I felt good, I was killing it at my job. I was doing really, really well. But I was dealing with digestive issues, migraines, anxiety, laundry list of things that made it so I wasn't able to show up as myself every day. And I have a service mindset. So that became really hard for me, not being able to serve my clients and my coworkers, my teams to my fullest extent. So around this time, I was also doing quite a bit of traveling and immersing myself into different cultures. And they have wellness practices or standard practices that were helping them to alleviate these issues. So I started implementing them into my life and saw such a change within not only myself, but my community, those around me that were kind of following suit. And I was like, there's something here. So I decided to go back to school for holistic medicine and studied Ayurveda and herbalism and started implementing those strategies into my life. And it was just such a game changer. So since then, I've worked with organizations and client services to really get their relationship management sectors really honed in. And then also just naturally, people are looking for solutions. And so I've just been sharing them, and it's grown from there. So more recently, I've been really working with the herbs. And it's just so cool to me that we have plants that do different things in our bodies naturally and holistically that help us to feel good. So that's how I got introduced to you, was making these products. And Angelina reached out to me and invited me to this community, which is so cool to be able to kind of see things come full circle, to be able to not only offer the solutions, but then have the products to back it. So it's been a really cool adventure so far.
Well, Kimberly, that's amazing. Being known as the holistic growth specialist and not really understanding sometimes the journey and where it's going to take us. And, being a self starter, working in corporate America, retention and sales and client relationships, and realizing that, you know, living to your peak potential and feeling your best is where you thrive and you do the best, right? And so that's the other thing I really like is working in corporate America, and then corporate America has like a wellness component to, the access to their employees and that sort of thing. And I really, really like how you said, okay, great. Well, I've tried it and I have benefited from it. Now, I need to go back to school, educate myself so that I can actually help others as well. And so that's the other thing. Knowledge is power. And once you get it, no one can take it away from you. Use it very wisely and to promote it to others. And so the best form of advertisement is a testimony. You've tried the wellness products, went back to school, it's done wonders in your life. And now you're saying, hey, listen, I need to bring more awareness to plant-based medicines. And tell me, what exactly does an herbalist mean, and Ayurveda? I think that's what you said. How did you say that?
Yes. Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is one of the original forms of medicine. So it originated in ancient India, and it's the longest practiced form of medicine that we still have. And basically, it relates the body and everything to the five elemental system. So everything is made up of the five main elements, including our body. And when those elements get out of whack, when these systems in our bodies get unbalanced, that's when we start seeing these symptoms and diseases start popping up. So if you can keep your body at its natural state and keep it balanced, you can prevent and even eliminate some of these even more advanced forms of diseases, which is just so cool, and it relates to everybody's body's different. We all have a natural state that our body likes to be at that's different than the next person, right? And so it's not a one size fits all, but it's a way of looking at life and feeling the qualities that are presenting in your body, and then using diet, herbs, activities to balance that out so you can get back to feeling good, to get back to feeling like your natural self. So, and that's why I incorporate those two things, because Ayurveda encompasses everything. Like I said, it's just a way of looking at life. And then the herbs, I like to call the helpers. They're the ones that can help us feel these different things and change the qualities that we're feeling in our body so that way we can get to our goal.
That's excellent. Excellent, excellent. Nice segue too, because mind, body, spirit, we are a whole entity. And, oftentimes individuals will say, I've just got this one thing that's a issue for me. But honestly, that one thing can really be multifactorial on how you show up in life, period. Not just for yourself, but like for others as well. And so it's important to find and connect with practitioners that really treat the person in a holistic manner. Yeah. And so, one of the products that I purchased from you was the Serenity Dream Box. And tell us, the viewers, listeners, a little bit about your products and then specifically what they do.
Yes. So in the Serenity Dream Box, we have the stress and anxiety tincture, because so often I dealt with insomnia for years. And for me, what I didn't realize until diving into this was that it was coming from stress. My body wasn't able to shut down. My mind just kept running and running because I was dealing with so much stress. So using a tincture and herbal extraction throughout the day to help keep the stress levels in the nervous system where they're supposed to be already helps the body to be able to tune down. And then there's also a tea blend, the deep sleep tea blend that incorporates a lot of the well-known herbs that help your body and system shut down in a holistic way. So it's not an override to the systems to shut things down. It really helps the body relax and the mind relax and be able to get to that place where you can get a good night's sleep. So incorporating those two things is really important because you want to be able to make sure you get to the root of the issue. And there's a lot of different things that could cause, sleep issues, but primarily in this society, what we're seeing is the stress. The stress is the main component to why you can't shut down the body. So incorporating those things. And then also there is an herbal balm on there too, because a lot of times when you're dealing with stress and your liver is at capacity, trying to digest and filter through everything that's coming through your body, you'll start seeing some stuff show up on the skin. So a lot of times, as I'm sure you're very familiar, a lot of the things that pop up on the skin are because the liver is not able to detoxify as well. So if we have an herbal balm or something to put over it while incorporating the herbs to help detoxify the liver, that helps just holistically bring everything together. And then something I like crystals, not only because they're beautiful, but because they also can help bring different energy into our life. So in that Serenity Dream Box, there's also amethyst necklace, which is known for calming and soothing the nervous system. So
Kimberly, it was such a beautiful box that when I met you, I purchased one, and I got another one as well to give away because, some people don't understand what stress feels like, what it actually is, and how impactful, detrimentally, it can be to the body as well. Not just inside, outside as well. I practice coaching individuals about how to manage stress and how it can manifest in many different ways: upset stomach, breaking out of your skin, or thinning of your hair, or just different things. And balance is the other thing that I talk about often as well. Balance, hemostasis. The body is really striving for balance, and you have to give it all the things that's necessary in order for it to balance. So sleep, hydration, and then detoxifying products that are natural to the body so that it doesn't have to not recognize it as not normal, like normal or natural, to break it down. It can actually just go to work naturally because it's received and it's plant-based naturally. So it's less time that the body has to break it down, and it's used right away. So that's very, very good. The other questions, I would say, what's in your tinctures? And then are the teas, how are they sourced and farmed? Because we live in the society of pesticides, heavy metals, and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, so I have my tinctures right here. So in this Inner Peace tincture, this is the stress and anxiety one. I use motherwort, which is that's one of my favorite herbs that I've gotten to know. So she's known as the mother of grief or the mother of stress, and she just really helps to calm that heart space. And then there's Tulsi, which is a well-known Ayurvedic herb. It helps to bring life force energy into the body. And just for any of our viewers, as I'm explaining these herbs, they do a bunch of different things, and they are responsible for a lot of different things. So I'm just kind of hitting the top, but they have a lot of different uses. There's also ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen that helps with the emotional space. Vervain, which also helps with stress relief and depression relief. And then blue lotus, another one of my favorite herbs. It helps open up that heart space and open up the spiritual channel and connection to our higher power and to the things outside of ourselves. And then skullcap is for alleviating, or it's for the nervous system, so it's a nervine. And then I also make a product called Not Your Daddy's Addy. So this is a natural alternative for focus, and it's a brain tonic. So it has green tea, ginkgo, ginseng to help oxygenate the brain and help get things moving. And then I also incorporate oat straw and chamomile. So that way it calms the nervous system while also giving you that heightened state of awareness. So it's not like a, running around type feeling. It's more of just a very mental clarity, but calming as well. And then a lot of times with stress and anxiety and lack of focus and these things that we're seeing a lot, it causes hormone imbalance. So I also created a hormone balancing tea or a tincture that helps with all stages. It helps balance the hormones. So it helps with everything from period pain all the way up to menopause. And it's just a really beautiful formulation. And you're right. Right now, especially that herbs are coming to be more popular. We're starting to see a lot more of the large facilities open up that are just pumping these things out as fast as possible, right? But it's really important to me and really important to source these from a good quality place, because plants, they have their own spirit, you know, and as you said, they know exactly what to do in our body. So it's really important to keep them in a happy place, so to speak. So I am very careful with who I source from. I am very blessed to be able to apprentice and volunteer at a local herb shop here in town, Southwest Herb, and they are very scrutinizing with which herbs they get, and they're very familiar with all of their vendors. So I get my herbs from their vendors. You know, I know that they're doing their due diligence and that they know what they're looking for. So I do the same and look at the different lots and see, you know, whether organic or wild harvested, and making sure that they're high quality herbs that will know exactly how to do their job.
Well, that's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for
Yeah.
explaining that, because oh wait, gosh, honestly, I could use a couple bottles of those tinctures as well. And you don't have to like suffer with anxiety. It's just a way of life. It's very stressful just driving on the freeway. And
Yeah.
I have been known to not only just prescribe adaptogens and herbs, but also take them myself. And often people are like, "Where do you get your energy from?" And again, everything's a mindset. And then knowledge. Knowledge is power. Access is key as well. And so that's one of the other reasons why I do what I do, is to promote information and content through individuals that are experts in their field, you know, talking about the different benefits of how you can live your best life now. And there is no excuse. You shouldn't be in pain. You shouldn't be depressed. You shouldn't act like, wow, this is just old age. This is the best it's going to be. No, no, no. There are options. You have options. There are choices out there. So, you know, connect with individuals that that really connect with a higher being and a higher purpose, and make an appointment and go get to know that individual practitioner to you know, find out for yourself if that's going to be a good relationship, because relationships,
Right.
you know, you have to start somewhere, and it starts by communicating as well. So
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly, how does individuals get in touch with you? How do they get your product? Any upcoming promotions or sales?
Yes. Yeah. So my website is iremindherbs.com. So it's IRIEMIND herbs, iremindherbs.com. And I have quite a few of my most popular formulations on there, but I also offer the opportunity, if someone isn't super familiar or doesn't know the root cause of what they're dealing with, you know, there you could feel like you're not focused throughout the day and want to get the mental focus one, but if your root cause is coming from somewhere else, we'll want to dive into that first. So I also have the option for you to submit a personalized formulation that comes with a consultation as well, so we can try to dive to the root cause and get things started from the get. And then my email is Kimberly at iremindherbs.com, but there's also on the website a contact form if you'd like to get in contact with me. And then also on here through LinkedIn, I love being able to connect with people. LinkedIn is just such a cool platform because it's a social media platform, right? But it's about professional, you know, it's for a professional target market, and everything's connected, you know. And so on this platform, we're looking for, you know, ways to be more productive and all of that. And really, as we're talking about today, the best way to be more productive and to show up as your best self is to take care of yourself in the best and most sustainable way possible. So I love connecting people in all ways that's most comfortable for you. You can send me a message on LinkedIn or email me, or send me a product request.
Okay. So then lastly too, Kimberly, you have an e-manual put out, and it's the Remote
Yes.
Workers Ultimate Guide to Long-Term Health and Success. Can you elaborate a little bit on it and how
Yes.
can individuals get this?
Yes, so I've worked remote now for a few years, and there's just sometimes the worlds can get merged very easily, right? When you're working from your own space and working from home, it's very easy to have work and home be completely combined and to kind of lose track of what it means to have a morning routine or to take care of yourself and implement these practices. So I just wanted to create a short, it's about 30 pages of just the most effective wellness practices and techniques that I've seen through my experience. And just to make it a consolidated place where those that may be busy or may not have, the time or resources to enroll in a coach or to have a course or to go to doctor's appointments, sometimes that's really overwhelming and a lot to think about. So I just created a very accessible, e-document that somebody can quickly, look at to see what areas they might be able to make little tweaks, because little tweaks make such a big difference. And it just comes down to meeting yourself where you're at. If you're not at the point where you are diving into the stuff full force, reading a little e-manual is a great place to start to just get that information flowing. So I have a course, a full-blown course, but like I said, I wanted it to be super accessible. I'm of the mindset that this information should just be what we're taught in school, right? It should just be readily available. So I wanted to have something that people could easily access.
And where can people get this, Emmanuel?
It's on the website as well at iremindherbs.com.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing too, everything that we do in life is multifactorial and it has a domino effect. And again, knowledge is power. So what are you feeding your body? Like, what are you physically eating and putting in? What are you pouring into your mind? Who are you associating with? Everything has a form of energy exchange. And these are all great things to just be mindful of and to remember to show up for yourself, because we live in a society where, a lot of people are taking care of others and we overlook ourselves. So this is all really about making you the best person for yourself so that others can get the overflow and the benefits of how you feel, and not you be drained and working on a cup that's empty or your tank empty. We want you to be fulfilled and filled.
Yes, exactly. The best way that we can show up for others, as you mentioned, is when we feel good in ourselves. We move completely differently when we feel good and happy and healthy than if we're in a stressed out, overworked state. And we, as you mentioned, we see those things start showing up in the body. Stress is the number one killer these days. So and we know that it makes us move completely differently. So being in that healthy state really helps us to show up for ourselves and for others in the highest capacity possible.
Great. So Kimberly, moving it forward in terms of what does the future hold for Wellness Wednesdays, I will be doing some upcoming workshops and some special editions of Wellness Wednesdays that will be maybe on some off times as opposed to like this 12 noon Mountain Standard Time. And I would love to have you come back and maybe put together a short series about a handful of herbs and tinctures that may be beneficial for certain situations and or occurrences in people's lives, because I just feel like we just touched on the surface of how beneficial these products can be that are all plant-based and natural, that we live in a world of society where man-made products are just shoved down everybody's throat and are made to feel like you don't have options, but there are options out there. And I want to make this platform on NGC, my media broadcasting network, on any of my media platforms, more education and awareness, and a place where people can come and get educated so that they can make more informed decisions for themselves. So I would love to extend that offer to you, and we could work something out in the future where individuals can come to know more about your specialty area of expertise and how beneficial it can be in their lives, if that's something that they choose that could be beneficial, that they are interested in and wanting to try.
Yeah, that would be awesome. There's nothing that lights me up more than sharing this information, because there are plants that are just right here for us that can help us do so many cool things. So yeah, I would love to share more about that.
And then lastly, Kimberly, thank you. Does these tinctures or balms and teas work immediately, or do they have to take time to work?
It depends, and it depends on the person. If there's some really deep-seated things going on, then the herbs can definitely be a helper. But there's multiple things that need to happen. As you said, a lot of it is mindset, and I consider the herbs as a helper. They help you through it. So it depends. For me, the inner peace tincture, the stress and anxiety tincture, I feel relief within 20-30 minutes. And the cool thing about herbs is that if you take a couple dropperfuls of the extraction and 20 minutes later you're not feeling benefit, you can take more. You don't have to worry about overdosing or anything like that. You can just take more until the herbs help. And it's different for each herb. Of course, if you're dealing with detoxifying something, it can take a few days, a few weeks. But the formulas that I make are designed to give as fast of relief as possible. So usually it starts working within about 20-30 minutes.
Well, I'm grateful to have you on the show and be an expert in this area of field with plant-based herbals and tinctures, and everyone that's listening and or watching, connect with Kimberly for consultation and tap into her knowledge to see if there's something there that could be beneficial to you. Kimberly, it's been so great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I love your mission to help people live their best lives, and I'm all here for that. So if there's any questions or anything I can help answer, please feel free to please reach out, because one of my main missions in life as well is to help people live out their best, most productive and happy life.
Okay, and then share your contact information one more time, please.
Yep, Kimberly at iremindherbs.com or iremindherbs.com.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. This concludes our Wellness Wednesday interview today, but we will be back next week with more. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the week.